Yeah, hi, good evening, everyone. Thank you, Kanak ji. Thank you very much for inviting me to this forum and giving me the opportunity to speak to all the participants here today. So, as you are aware, the topic which was given to me was related to ab nahi to kab, and in English it means if not now, then when. And my sense is that when we are talking about this particular topic, since I am in the stock market, and most of us deal with mutual funds, equity mutual funds, and the stock markets, I presume that we are relating it to the world of stock markets and to the world of equity investing. And it is interesting to connect this topic to stock markets right now. The reason being that we have just been through one of the biggest uh, kind of shocks in the economy as well as the equity market. So from that perspective, I think that it's very, very interesting to connect this topic. I am associated with mutual funds and the stock market now since 1999, and approximately 21 years I just completed of my career in the month of May 2020. I finished 21 years right from when I started from ICICI, and then last 8 years in Motilal Oswal. So what I've seen is that in these 21 years, at least three to four times, I have been told very, very convincingly and very, very confidently by a lot of people that the world will come to an end. Uh, I am sitting in front of you, and you all are also sitting here and attending. So it's obvious that fortunately for us, the world has not come to an end. And I think that in the month of March 2020 also, this is the most recent that I have heard that the world will come to an end. After that, somehow 3 4 months have passed, world has not come to an end. And people are saying that just wait and watch, it is still not over. Some people are thinking that the world will end eventually after 3 months, right? Somehow the world has not come to an end, and I am here to tell you that don't live in that impression. It is not going to come to an end. Sometimes I feel that human beings, they take themselves too seriously. हम लोग अपने बारे में बहुत कुछ ज़्यादा सोचते हैं. Human beings take themselves too seriously. Why I said is because if dinosaurs kept on forecasting the end of the world and kept on preparing that the world should not end, then all of us would not have been here. Only dinosaurs would have been here, right? So everything is evolution. Everything is evolving slowly and gradually. Stock markets, economy, human beings, we will also evolve. In 2008, when there was a terror attack, we used to think that we can never go into a hotel, we can never go into a railway station, somebody will come and shoot us. But after that, 12 years have passed, no hotel or no railway station, nobody has entered with a gun and shot 100 people. In 2001, when 9/11 happened, it seems that there were forecasts that in New York, only World Trade Center, those two towers were blown up. People were fearing, and there were forecasts that all the towers will get blown up. But now 19 years have passed, none of the towers have been blown up. And it has never ever happened that an aircraft has been banged into any tall building. Now it is 19 years. So what we should keep in mind is that after those aircrafts were flown into the World Trade Center, we all got used to living in a way that you cannot enter the airport without security check. We are aware of that. After 2008, we all are aware that you cannot enter a hotel if you are carrying guns and certain types of objects, right? So same way in 2020, we all have to, if we start thinking that world will come to an end, like we were thinking that all the towers will have aeroplanes blowing them up, or we think that in all the hotels people will come with guns and shoot everybody. So human race evolves, and people adjust, and people get acclimatized to a certain way of conducting themselves. That is why I started by saying that if dinosaurs also thought like us, then only dinosaurs would be there. We would not have come about at all. So let us have some respect for nature and for God's creation. And let us understand that things will evolve, people will adapt, and life will go on. For every time that the stock market falls, and our problems are much lesser than the world's problems. We all get worried when stock market falls. It is probably one of the smaller issues in the world. But coming back to the stock market, that's why I was telling you that this time there is a COVID pandemic. It is quite unfortunate. Some people are losing their lives. Some people are losing livelihoods. So it is unfortunate. I don't mean to make a assume that it is a light situation. No, it's not a light situation. It is a serious situation. But I'm just saying that the biggest problem in the world is not to worry about the stock market. And I think every time the market falls, that's why I said that in last 20, 21 years, at least 3 or 4 times people have convincingly told me that that world will come to an end. And that's why I went through the entire narrative of the first 2, 3 minutes to explain that world never comes to an end. It is human beings who actually adapt. It is human beings who actually evolve, and life goes on. So I'll come to the topic. If not now, then when? So if we are not going to look seriously at our economy and our stock markets, if we are not going to see it now, then when are we going to actually look at it? So what is stopping people from doing what I'm saying is this belief that world will come to an end. And it has come to an end 3 times in the last 20 years, almost. But it did not come to an end. So this is what I am basically trying to explain to people. जब भी कुछ बुरा होता है हमको ऐसा लगता है कि दुनिया खत्म हो जाएगी. हकीकत ये है कि खत्म नहीं हुई है और नहीं होगी. That you should always keep in mind, because like I have said 2, 3 times, human beings evolve and human beings will adapt. This is not very far off. This is just some of the things which I narrated to you. 2001 to 2003, when I started my career in 99, 2000. After that, in 2001, World Trade Center was blown up. And these 2, 3 years, 2001 से लेकर के 2003, people were telling me a lot of times कि तुम गलत जगह पे आ गए हो, दुनिया खत्म होने वाली है, अभी तुम देखो क्या होगा. So 2000, if you can see this, I'm making this bigger for everybody to see this. This is 2003. A mystery killer, high fever, dry cough, shortness of breath, difficulty in breathing, changes in chest x-ray indicative of pneumonia, other symptom, headache, diarrhea. What does it say? SARS, severe acute respiratory syndrome. ऐसा 2003 में हुआ था. Then आप यहाँ पे देखिए, September 2011, World Trade Center is blown up. Is Israel next or is India next? Where will terrorists attack? ये भी एक हमारा headline था. 97, 98, nationalized banks gross NPA 16.88%. 98, 99, 16%. 99, 2000, 14%. 2000, 2001, 12%. ये बैंकों के NPA हैं. This is old private sector banks, because this time ICICI, HDFC, ICICI Bank, HDFC was barely present. So public sector banks, then old private sector banks. What does it show? NPA level 11%, 13%, 11%, 11.12. America under attack, World Trade Center collapses. ये मैंने आपको सारे के सारे स्क्रीनशॉट बता दिए कि मेरा करियर जब चालू हुआ तभी भी the world was supposed to end. ऐसा हमने देखा था. This is 2001 to 2003. Like I told you, world did not come to an end. You see after that what has actually happened. टू 2001 से लेके 2003 के हेडलाइन तो मैंने दिखा दिया आपको. ये देख के तो ऐसा लगता कि ओहो कहाँ पे आ गए हम. मुझे भी ऐसा लगता था, गलत करियर स्टार्ट कर लिया मैंने. Now you see what happened in 2002 to 2007. We doubled our GDP in 5 years, and then coming once in a lifetime opportunity. In 2002, India's GDP was $500 billion. And for reaching $500 billion, it took us 55 years. From 1947 till 2002, 55 years, $500 billion. And all the headlines of 2002, I have already shown you. But from 2002 to 2007, 500 billion became $1.2 trillion. In how many years? 5 years. Today we are around between 2.5 to 3 trillion US dollars. That is where we are today. What does it show? How many countries have more than 2 trillion US dollar GDP? Only 9 countries: US, China, Japan, India, UK, Germany, Brazil, Italy, France. Okay. How many countries have more than 3 trillion GDP? US, China, Japan and Germany. थोड़े दिन पहले हमारे प्रधानमंत्री जी हैं मोदी जी ने बोला, he said that India will be $5 trillion US GDP in 2024. Then there was some amount of controversy in social media, in certain forums. There was some amount of controversy that, you know, how can it be $5 trillion in 2024? How will we implement this? What does government need to do? Are we forecasting too aggressive? Some people said, "ये तो हो ही नहीं सकता." Some people said, "होगा." Lot of controversy. Lot of controversy around that statement that India will be 5 trillion in 2024. Now, people on this call, myself, Kanak ji, all our partners, I can see Mukesh bhai from Nasik, and, you know, many of our partners here. We are not politicians. We are only investors. And I hope we realize that when it was stated that India's GDP will be $5 trillion by 2024, it became a controversy. But I hope we realize that the controversy was about 2024. The controversy was not about $5 trillion. Nobody questioned that we will be 5 trillion or not. Everybody only questioned 2024 में होगा कि नहीं होगा. Now we are not politicians. हमको कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता है 2024 में होता है या 2025 में होता है. हमारे लिए तो what is the biggest news? हमारे लिए सबसे biggest news ये है कि only 3 countries have touched 5 trillion. कोई इसके बाद कौन सा कंट्री आएगा? Only India. आपने कभी ऐसा रेस, have you ever been to a race where you are told that please start running, and you are also told that you are alone in the race? अगर रेस कंप्लीट किया तो आप जीत गए. तो आप पूछोगे अरे और कौन भागने वाला है, किसके साथ है? फिर आपको बोला नहीं और कोई भागने वाला ही नहीं है इसमें, आप अकेले हो रेस में. जब मन में आए खत्म करो, और जब भी खत्म करोगे यू आर द विनर. ऐसा रेस देखा आपने कभी? इंडिया का ऐसा रेस है. यू नो व्हाई आई एम सेइंग दिस, व्हाई आई सेड if is there any other country other than India which is going to reach $5 trillion? I'll keep quiet for 2-3 seconds. Please think about it. Is there any such country which you can think? There are only 3 countries: US, China, Japan. They have reached 5 trillion. चौथा कंट्री आएगा इंडिया. कौन से साल में आएगा हमको नहीं पता है, लेकिन इंडिया आएगा. Somebody has written that Germany will be 5 trillion. It is possible. But when India crosses 5 trillion, by the time India crosses 10 trillion, then Germany may be 6 trillion or 7 trillion. All those things are possible. But is anybody going to be racing with India? That is the simple question. And also please understand that anybody who is thinking that there will be many countries who will be 5 trillion, the answer is, let me explain why it is impossible. Because for a country to have a growth in GDP, it needs 3 or 4 things. First of all, you need that many people. Second of all, if you don't have that many people, then per person, you need a very, very high per capita. Third thing, you don't have that many people, and you don't even have per capita. It is not possible for you to reach that kind of size of GDP, because number of people multiplied by per capita income, उसके आसपास आपका एनुअल जीडीपी आएगा। आप उसमें प्रोडक्टिविटी गेन्स जोड़ लीजिए, आप फिर बोलिए कि हम हमारे पास तो मार्केट नहीं है, हमारे पास तो पीपल नहीं है, हम खाली वी आर ओनली गोइंग टू बी एक्सपोर्टर, so that will show up in your per capita. So the point is that you need people, you need per capita income, and you need productivity. If you don't have the people and you don't have the per capita income, only productivity is not possible because it has to ultimately show up somewhere, either in exports or higher per capita income or somewhere. So the point is that there is no other country which has that kind of size and scale and speed. So we have to keep in mind also, when we all are thinking that the world is going to come to an end, market kharab hai, economy kharab hai, why do you think that one single telecom company is raising 1.5 lakh crores? What is the reason? How many countries are there in the world where there are 100 crore mobile phone subscribers, where 5G is about to be launched, and where you can see what is the data consumption, you can see what is the spread of media, online shopping, you can see what is the food ordering, right? You can see how many mutual fund transactions are happening, you can see how much of stock exchange transaction is happening. So all that, of course, is related to the telecom network and the usage of the telecom network. So why do you think that these people, they can invest in other countries also? Why they want to invest in India? Why is it that when we are so circumspect about investing, why is it that so much money is actually flowing in? So I think what we should keep in mind is that if we lose sight of the opportunities, if we lose sight of the fact that this is a one horse race, then I think we are going to be the biggest losers. Let's come to the next part. Now, I told you that US hit 5 trillion. China also has done 5 trillion. It took the US 10 years from 1979 to 1988. It took US 10 years to move. Abhi India 2.5 trillion ke aspas hai, I just mentioned that. So it took the US 10 years to move from 2.5 trillion to 5 trillion. In those 10 years, the gain in the S&P 500 was 17% compounded year on year. China is China. It took them only 5 years, from 2004 to 2009. In 5 years, they doubled their GDP. They moved from 2.5 trillion to 5 trillion. In those 5 years, their exchange index gained 28% compounded. So what you have to think now, we are not US, but we are not China also. Even if you reach 5 trillion in 2025, 26, 27, 28, it doesn't matter because it's a one horse race. अगर 2025 में होगा तो आपका 2-4% रिटर्न ज्यादा आएगा, 2027 में होगा तो आपका 2-4% रिटर्न बाद में आएगा, बट नहीं होगा ऐसा हो ही नहीं सकता है. It is definitely going to happen. Either it will happen in 5 years or it will happen in 10 years, but it is definitely going to happen, right? When this 2.5 trillion becomes 5 trillion, do you know what is going to happen? Our per capita income, which is 2000 US dollars, is actually going to go to something like 6 to 7,000 US dollars. Because of course, when GDP is going to double, obviously the number of people are not going to double. Productivity gains are also there. Number of people also doesn't double. So when $2,000 per capita, when the GDP doubles, the $2,000 is going to actually go to some $8, $9, $10,000 kind of numbers. I don't know the accurate number. I'm not an economist. I'm not qualified to actually talk too much about it, but I know for a fact that when GDP doubles, the per capita will double disproportionately. Now, within that per capita income, one more thing you should keep in mind. When our per capita income was $1,000 10 years back, approximately $900. Matlab, if your income is only $1,000 per year, at that point in time, about $800 to $900 was the cost of survival. Meaning that if somebody has $1,000 per capita, they were spending $800 to $900 just on roti kapda makan. That is called essentials. Like countries like India, which are poor, relatively poor, we are called the economy of essentials because most of the people, most of their spending is all about food, clothes, shelter, rent, basic things, right? But when $1,000 has become $2,000, obviously, the cost of food, shelter, and clothing, the cost of essentials, when per capita goes from 1,000 to 2,000, the cost of essentials doesn't go from 1,000 to 2,000. It will rise at a rate of some inflation. So when $1,000 was per capita, cost of roti kapda makan was approximately $900, and the disposable income was $100. When per capita income has gone from 1,000 to 2,000, the cost of survival goes from 900 to approximately 1,400 or 1,500. So the disposable income goes from $100 to approximately $500. Now, there is a very, very simple arithmetic behind this. 10 years back, what were the hot sectors in the stock market? They were things like FMCG and consumer. Today also consumer is there. But 10 years back, when people spoke about consumer, they spoke about very basic things. Like they spoke about penetration of soap, shampoo, oil, toothpaste, these kind of things, biscuits, these kind of things. Today, when people speak about the consumer sector and they speak about the penetration, they are speaking about Relaxo Footwear, Bata India, Page Industries, right? So what has changed? Consumption is still consumption. 10 years back, consumption was all about FMCG and FMCG was all about penetration. Today, consumption is not just FMCG. Consumption is FMCG, but in FMCG, it is not about penetration. It is about premiumization. अभी हमको ये चिंता नहीं है कि टाइगर बिस्किट कोई खा रहा है कि नहीं खा रहा है. हमको चिंता ये है कि जो लोग टाइगर बिस्किट खा रहे थे वो लोग बर्बन खा रहे हैं कि नहीं खा रहे हैं. That is the bigger problem. So for FMCG companies, people look for margin, product mix, and premiumization. So for FMCG, when you go from $1,000 to $2,000 for basic goods of FMCG, the conversation has moved from penetration into premiumization. But there are certain consumer products where we are still talking about penetration. That is stuff like branded apparels. That is the stuff like, two-wheelers. That is the stuff like, when we speak about, for example, insurance companies. आपका $1,000 per capita income है, आपका औकात ही नहीं है इंश्योरेंस लेने का. आप किसका इंश्योरेंस लेंगे और आपका इंश्योरेंस लेगा कौन? But when you go from $1,000 to $2,000 per capita income, definitely there are some people who need insurance, and definitely people are willing to insure some of these people. So when you go from $1,000, so there are these, ये जो मैं बोल रहा हूँ ये नया नहीं है. दुनिया में ऐसा अमेरिका में पहले हुआ है, चाइना में भी हुआ है, जापान में भी हुआ है. The way the countries, as countries progress, as their per capita income rises, जैसे हम छोटे थे तो वीडियो गेम खेलते थे. The people who have played video games, they must be remembering that in a video game, when you score more and more points, when you become a better and better player, certain levels open up. When a new level opens up, then the player becomes stronger. Some new weapons come, some new supernatural powers come. So what happens, this per capita income is exactly like that. As your per capita income rises, your country becomes more prosperous. It gets some new powers. It becomes more influential in the world. More markets open up. It is said that when the country is $1,000 per capita, it is all about FMCG. When a country is $2,000 per capita, then financial services kicks off. When a country crosses $4,000, then automobiles, that kicks off. When a country crosses $8,000 to $10,000, then travel and tourism really kicks off. इसलिए sometimes when people tell me कि मारुति का भाव बहुत महंगा हो गया है, पता नहीं लोग क्यों खरीद रहे हैं, पता नहीं कौन गाड़ी चलाएगा, तो मुझे बहुत हंसी आती है क्योंकि $4,000 पर कैपिटा पे ये लोग क्या बोलेंगे, मैं ये सोचता हूँ एक्चुअली. Right? So what we should keep in mind, I'm not giving any recommendation, I'm telling you very, very basic things. Some of these things are maybe oversimplified, but these are the basic things which we should know. कि भाई ये सब अभी होना बाकी है, ये सब अभी होगा. कौन से साल में होगा मुझे नहीं पता, होगा पक्का. It is definitely going to happen. So let us not start pronouncing the end of the world in a premature hurry. That is my limited submission to everybody here. The problem is that different years, different things are playing out. ये सब बराबर है, but all this is correct. But problem is here. You can see the last line, minus 25% in 1 year. दिस इज द थिंग जो सबको गुमराह कर देता है. दिस इज द बिगेस्ट प्रॉब्लम. And there is only one way to overcome this problem. What is the way to overcome this problem? The way to overcome this problem is to own everything. That is the only way. That is the reason why we have so many investment advisors in this group. That is the reason why in this group there are so many financial advisors and mutual fund distributors and financial planners who have a great job to do over the years. And it is well known that the best way to overcome this problem is to get into asset allocation. But most important thing, read this cartoon carefully. I have written here that ये सब conviction तो है हमको, 5 ट्रिलियन होगा, इंडिया का पर कैपिटा भी आएगा, सब कुछ आएगा. बट प्रॉब्लम ये है, sometimes +70, then -35, then +75, then -8, फिर 28, 20, -25. This is the thing which causes maximum problem, and that is why all the financial advisors here, they have a great future and they have a task to solve. But from an investor's perspective, what does this guy say? They say that the secret of success is being at the right place at the right time. And then what does he say? But since you never know when the right time is going to be, I figure the trick is to find the right place and just hang around. So I hope all of you realize that you are in the right place. Now just hang on, okay? Just hang on because you are in the right place. Abhi ye mausam badlega, you just hang on because you're in the right place. This is something which I find extremely interesting. आप लोगों ने बहुत बार ऐसा चार्ट देखा होगा. So let me show this stock market chart in a very different manner. Do you know what this chart says? That in the last 30 years, there were 6,200 trading days in the market. In these 30 years and 6,200 trading days, the Nifty has gone up 34 times. Okay. But if you had missed the 10 best days of the market, it would not go 34 times, it would go 12 times only. If you missed the best 20 days, you would be up only 6 times. If you missed the best 30 days, you would be up only 3 times. But now the most interesting part. Out of the best 10 days, the 4 best days came in a bear market. Out of the best 20 days, the 11 best days came in a bear market. Out of the best 30 days, 16 days, they came in a bear market. Let me explain this to you. Do you remember, does everybody remember in May 2009, when there was an election, when the election result came, the index closed in an up circuit. May 2009 was a bull market or a bear market? It was a bear market, but the index had an up circuit, the whole index up circuit. Now I'll give you another example. In March 2020, there were some days when the index hit down circuit, I remember. Do you know there were some days when the index was up by 5%, 6%, 7%. I'll give you another example. July, August 2019. I think August 2019, I don't remember the date. There was a day when the government of India, they decided to cut corporate tax from 30%, from 35% down to 22%. Entire NAVs were up by 8 to 9%. It came in a bear market. So what we should keep in mind, very, very important statement. Most of the times, most of the money is made when things go from very bad to less bad than from great to greater. So what we have to keep in mind, the best days in the market, they come in bear markets. अगर तेजी का इंतजार करेंगे तो डिस्प्रपोर्शनेट रिटर्न नहीं मिलेगा. मंदी में पैसा लगाएंगे तो फटाफट पैसा बनेगा and you can make disproportionate gains. There are a lot of people who have this misperception or a misconception that money is made in the bull markets. Completely wrong. In the bull markets, your account statement looks good because it shows you the results. But where do those results come from? Results look good, account statement looks good only if you have invested in the bear markets. So money is made in the bear markets. Money is made by investing in the bear markets so that when bull market comes, your account statement looks good. If you have invested in December 2017, today your account statement is not looking good. If you have invested in April or May 2012 or 2013, your account statement is still looking respectable. So that is what we should understand, that money is not made in bull markets. Money is made by investing in the bear markets. And most importantly, 50% of the best days ever in the stock market, 50% of the best days ever in the stock market have come during bear markets, not in the bull markets. So I think this is something which you must remember very, very carefully. I'll tell you another interesting thing. Different decades, what has happened in the world markets. 1971 to 1980, the decade of the 70s, the best performing asset was gold. 1970s, worst performing asset was US equity. Then comes 1980s. Do you know what was the best performing asset in 1980s? In 1970s, the worst was US. In 1980s, the best was Japan. And look at gold. 1970s, gold was the best. 1980s, gold became the worst. But Japan became the best. Now look at the 90s. What will come at the top? US is at the top. Japan is the worst. Now come to the 2000s. India is the best. US was the worst. Now come to the 2010 to 2020. US is best. India is worst. क्या लगता है अगले 10 साल में क्या होगा? What will happen in the next 10 years? Which one will be on the top? That you have to now, I think it's very, very difficult to guess, but I hope you guys find it easy also. When should people invest? This is related to my previous point. I mentioned that people think that money is made in bull markets. It is absolute nonsense. Money is made in bear markets. And there is a related point that I'm making here. When do investors invest? आपको पता है कि आज जो investors हैं, do you know what is the reason why they are unhappy with the last 3 years of returns? Does everybody know why people are unhappy with the last 3 years of returns? I'll explain to you. There is only one single problem, and that problem is greed. And I'll tell you greed also. I'm not blaming anybody. I'm not blaming you or me or investor or anybody. I'm just trying to explain some facts which I have observed. What has happened is that in 2013 and 2012 and 2011, people were not investing in equity. In 2014, when the new government came and a lot of reform related potential was being discussed, people found a new promise and a lot of things started happening. So people who were never investing in equity, they put, for example, 1 lakh rupees in 2014. In 2014, if you put 1 lakh rupees, by 2016 or 2017, that 1 lakh has become 2 or 2.5 lakh. Now those people started feeling very excited and very confident. So जिसने 2014 में 1 लाख रुपया डाला और उसका 2016-17 में 2.5 लाख हो गया, उसने 2016-17 में कहीं से लाके 10 लाख डाल दिया. अब वो 10 लाख का वैल्यू आज 10 लाख के इर्द गिर्द घूम रहा है. अगर स्मॉल कैप में डाला तो 10 लाख का वैल्यू 8 लाख हो गया. So what is the challenge? People invest like this. How do people invest? They invest like this. When the index is low, their confidence is very low. So when index is low, confidence is low, allocation is also low. But जो लो कॉन्फिडेंस के साथ लो एलोकेशन किया है उसमें दुगना तिगना रिटर्न आता है. फिर क्यों आता है? क्योंकि इंडेक्स इज हाई. अच्छा, पहले लो कॉन्फिडेंस था तो लो एलोकेशन किया, वो लो एलोकेशन पे दुगना तिगना रिटर्न मिला तो कॉन्फिडेंस आ गया. कॉन्फिडेंस आ गया तो बड़ा एलोकेशन आया. अब बात यह है कि लोगों को कॉन्फिडेंस बहुत लेट आता है. आज मेरी बात सुन के कॉन्फिडेंस नहीं आएगा, अगले साल 13,000 निफ्टी पे बहुत कॉन्फिडेंस आएगा. सो एक्चुअली इन्वेस्टमेंट शुड हैपन लाइक दिस. व्हेन यू हैव लो कॉन्फिडेंस, when your past return is looking bad, when index is bad, you somehow try to put maximum money. When that money gives you a lot of returns, you become careful and stop allocating when the index goes up. So iska trick kya hai? When you are feeling very, very confident, you have to think something is wrong. When you are feeling not at all confident, you have to imagine that market is bottoming out, right? So your current level of confidence or faith, your current level of faith has no, and you know, purposely I have used the word faith because I have observed one more thing about investors, that if the NAV is going up, if the share prices are going up, if the performance is going up, then advisor is also good, fund manager is also good, AMC is also good. But same fund manager, same portfolio, same advisor, nothing has changed. If NAV is going down, share prices are going down, you're a bad advisor, you're a bad fund manager, something is wrong with you. So I have purposely used the word faith. You can use it with the word confidence also. Your current level of confidence has nothing to do with your future returns. If at all, it is inversely correlated. This is something which we should remember. Can you swim against the tide? When we are taught to swim with the tide all our lives. तो ये क्या है कि there are ये herd बोलते हैं ना, sheep का herd बोलते हैं. We say herd mentality. So now everybody is moving this way. There are only two sheep who are saying excuse me and going in the opposite direction. That is what is actually showing. This is how markets actually appear to people. This is how markets actually are. Okay, like last time what people said, 7600 पे bottom हुआ तो लोगों ने क्या बोला, नहीं नया bottom बनेगा, 6000 के भी नीचे जाएगा. So markets are cyclical, it is true, but normally when there is a cyclical phenomenon, the axis is a horizontal line. Markets are cyclical, it is true, but the axis is a line which is upward inclined 45 degrees. So markets are cyclical, absolutely true, but the axis is inclined upwards. This is something which you must remember. The other thing, people spend a lot of time, they want to figure out timing. I don't know if you have heard this example from me before, but I have put this Mumbai local train because 1998, 99, 2000, when I was working in ICICI, every morning in a suburb of Goregaon in Mumbai, I used to take a train to go to Churchgate. And then I used to take a bus to go to ICICI office in Ballard Pier. Now, those of you who are from Bombay, you can understand that 8 o'clock in the morning, if you are going to take a train from Goregaon to go to Churchgate, how difficult it is, you can understand. And I don't know about today, but that time very few trains started from Goregaon. Most of the trains were coming from Borivali. If you are very conscious about the timing and you take, you know, a lot of times some people think that I'm in Goregaon, but I will still take a fast train. And if you try to take a fast train which is coming from Virar or fast train which is coming from Borivali, go to platform number 4 of Goregaon, then you can understand that if you try to get into a train which is a fast train, every chance that you will spend the next 45 minutes of your journey hanging outside on the footboard. And most probably you will not be able to go inside. So a lot of crowd, very, very difficult. So then I realized that instead of going at 8 o'clock, थोड़े दिन बाद मेरी बात समझ में आई, instead of going at 8 o'clock and insisting that I will board a fast train from Goregaon, I decided that I should go to the platform at 7:30 and take a train which is going in the opposite direction. Because first that train, for first 20 minutes, that train goes reverse. It goes from Goregaon to Borivali first. then that train will change the indicator, change the announcement, and it goes reverse from Borivali to Churchgate. So after 6 months or 1 year of struggling and hanging outside and nearly putting myself in danger, I finally realized कि भाई सब कुछ टाइमिंग पे नहीं होगा, थोड़ा जल्दी जाना पड़ेगा, ट्रेन में बैठे रहेंगे, पहले 20 मिनट ट्रेन उल्टे डायरेक्शन में जाएगी, लेकिन बैठ के जाएंगे, we will be sitting, probably we might sit next to the window or under a fan, and if you know the timings or if you know the schedule of the railway correctly, then that train is going to be a fast train. It will take you to Churchgate 20 minutes later, but it will take you safe and sound, and it will take you comfortably. So most of the people, I am not, by the way, listen, I am not talking about railway train and my journey, I am talking about the stock market only. Most of the people, what they think is that हम चलती गाड़ी में ही चढ़ेंगे, let the market go up. अभी तो मार्केट खराब है, अच्छा होगा when the market improves, then we will see. अब मार्केट इंप्रूव होगा, मार्केट इंप्रूव होने के बाद आप अगर चालू करेंगे, so what happens when market improves? Now few days back market was 8,000, हमने बहुत भाषण दिए, बहुत मीटिंग किया. Since March 23rd I am sitting at home. Every day I am staring at my Zoom and giving 2 to 3 भाषण to people. कि दुनिया खत्म नहीं होगी, कुछ नहीं होगा, चिंता मत करो, ऐसे ऐसे मैं बोलते रहता हूँ लोगों को. At 8,000 people were saying, अरे देखो अभी 6,000 हो जाएगा, अरे 7,600 हो गया, काफी नहीं है क्या? नहीं, 6,000 होएगा. आई एम वेरी श्योर 6,000 होता तो लोग बोलते 5,000 हो जाएगा. अब क्या हुआ? अब वो 7,600 का 11,000 हो गया. अब बोल रहे हैं यार 5% नीचे आया ना मैं पैसा डाल दूंगा. वो 5% भी नीचे नहीं आ रहा है. अब क्या है कि people will put money at 13,000. I think at 13,000 people will become convinced that market is cheap. At 8,000 they were convinced that market is going to 5,000. So people who are into manufacturing, they know this Japanese technique called just in time. Inventory management, supply chain management, manufacturing, they use this concept called just in time. It's a fantastic concept for manufacturing, cost saving, and inventory management. Fantastic system. Please don't apply that system to the stock market. It is not related to stock market. There is nothing called just in time investing. Yes, there is just in time manufacturing. There is nothing called just in time investing. Most of the people, they think that they will come to Goregaon station at 8 o'clock और फास्ट ट्रेन आएगी, चलती गाड़ी में चढ़ जाएंगे, आधे घंटे में चर्चगेट पहुंच जाएंगे. ऐसा कुछ नहीं होता है. आधे से ज्यादा लोग वहीं बाहर लटकते रह जाते हैं, अपनी जान को खतरे में डालते हैं, होता कुछ नहीं है. सो चलती गाड़ी में मत चढ़िए, थोड़े समय के लिए गाड़ी उल्टे डायरेक्शन में जा. अब वो 7,600 में या 8,000 में पैसा डाल देते, थोड़े समय के लिए जाता तो 6,000 जाता, कम से कम 11,000 भी देखने को मिलता. So I think that please, timing is important, but I don't know how possible it is. And Peter Lynch made a very famous statement that most of the money is lost in waiting for a correction rather than actually being in the correction itself. So ये चीज आप याद रखिएगा. Please remember this. The other thing which is happening nowadays, quite disgusting and quite disastrous. Nowadays what is happening is people have started, mutual funds में से पैसा निकल रहा है. I call it relief redemption. Why do I call it relief redemption? 3 साल पहले 2017 में किसी ने 100 रुपया डाला. In March 2020, that 100 रुपया became 80 rupees. Now in July 2020, that 80 has become 96, 97, 95. So people are indulging in relief redemption. They are saying, boss, ek baar to. So what happens? Why I have shown this elevator and why I have shown a scared passenger inside this elevator? What is the reason for this? The reason is that, a lot of times we go to different, जैसे you come to my office or I come to some of your office, these buildings are 10 floor, 20, 10, 20, 30 floors. And nowadays the office buildings are so crowded that for getting into lift also there is a long queue. So whenever we go to somebody's office, we reach the elevator bank and we stand in a queue. Now, when you're standing in a queue, that attendant tells you, chalo, 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 everybody goes in the lift. I have seen sometimes that the moment you enter the lift, you realize that ये तो नीचे जा रहा है. Instead of going up, first the lift goes down. So you say, ठीक है, कोई बात नहीं. anyway lift is crowded, खड़े रहते हैं, बाद में कब आएगी, भरी होगी, पता नहीं क्या होगा. So you get into the lift, it goes down. Now just imagine a scenario, you enter the lift, instead of going up, it goes down, but you say, चलो ठीक है, रुकते हैं, ultimately ऊपर ही जाएगी, let us wait. The lift goes to basement level 3. When it goes to basement level 3, the power goes out. There is no electricity. What will you do? 15 minutes, there is no electricity. You are finding it difficult to breathe. There is no light. The lift has also stopped. It remains in the elevator in the basement. It has halted. It remains there for 15 minutes. After 15 minutes, they bring the lift back to the ground floor. I want to ask you a question. When they bring the lift back to the ground floor, how many of you will keep standing there and say, abhi theek hai, I have to go upstairs, it's okay? And how many of you will immediately exit the moment the doors open on the ground floor? You get the point, right? How many of you think I'm talking about lifts and elevators? I'm talking about the stock market, and I'm telling you what is actually happening right now. So अगर आप वाकई में लिफ्ट में सफर कर रहे हैं और लिफ्ट बंद हो गई है, तब तो आपको ग्राउंड फ्लोर में डेफिनेटली निकल जाना चाहिए. बट स्टॉक मार्केट के लिए ये एग्जाम्पल बहुत ही खतरनाक है. Because in the stock market, if you exit when the lift comes to the ground floor, then basically you know what you have done. You have seen the worst and you have exited just when the lift is going to go up. So please ensure that you or your clients, you should do this when you are stuck in a lift. Please don't apply that logic when you are stuck in the stock market. In the stock market, there is nothing like getting stuck. It is a perpetual motion machine. It is cyclical in nature. सिक्लिकल में और एक एग्जांपल होता है, जैसे हम रोलर कोस्टर पे बैठते हैं. इन अ रोलर कोस्टर, व्हेन इट गोज अप वी फील वेरी वेरी चीयरफुल, बट व्हेन इट गोज डाउन वी फील वेरी वेरी स्केर्ड. हैव यू एवर सेट इन अ रोलर कोस्टर which only goes up but never goes down? It's not possible, right? So markets are cyclical and we have to remain invested if we unfortunately come in the bad cycle. And if we are mature investors, we should be doubling our bets when we are in a bad cycle. This is another interesting thing. I'll just put it in a simple manner. A lot of times, people who invest 100 rupees, and unfortunately sometimes 100 rupees become 50. अब क्या होता है कि when 100, बहुत सारे लोगों को बहुत अरिथमेटिक आता है, बट गुजराती में एक कहावत है, those who are in Gujarati they will understand. ઘણા લોકો એવા હોય જે ભણેલા છે પણ ગણેલા નથી, right? Means કે I don't know how to put it in Hindi or English, but a lot of times people know the arithmetic but they apply the wrong arithmetic in the wrong place. So there are many people who scare our investors and say कि अरे 100 का 50 हो गया तो 50% डाउन है, लेकिन 50 का 100 करने के लिए 100% करना पड़ेगा, ऐसे कैसे होगा, ये तो नहीं हो सकता है, बर्बाद हो गया, खत्म हो गया. This kind of logic people apply to their stock market investment. It is completely nonsensical logic. I'll explain to you why. If you compress a spring, let's say you take a spring, I take a spring and I compress it. Let us say there is a 10 centimeter spring, I compress it, it becomes 5 centimeter. It is 50% down. Now I release the spring. It will go up 50% or it will go up 100%. How much it will go up? Does the arithmetic apply? So what we should keep in mind, that where there is arithmetic combined with physics, we have to apply both. We cannot apply only arithmetic and insist that the physics doesn't work. So in the stock market, if we have an economy, वो अभी नहीं तो कल, कल नहीं तो परसों, परसों नहीं तो तरसों, कभी ना कभी तो 5 trillion होएगा. So in an economy like ours, where there is a basic level of growth, इधर लॉकडाउन चल रहा है, लॉकडाउन में भी FMCG प्रोडक्ट्स चल रहे हैं, फार्मास्यूटिकल चल रहा है, हमारा म्यूचुअल फंड चल रहा है, इंश्योरेंस चल रहा है, बैंकिंग चल रहा है, ब्रोकिंग चल रहा है, एग्रीकल्चर चल रहा है, उसका एलाइड एक्टिविटीज चल रहा है, लॉजिस्टिक्स चालू है, सब कुछ चालू है. बहुत कुछ चीजें बंद है, बहुत नुकसान है, फर्स्ट क्वार्टर का GDP भी खराब आएगा. बट when you take the market cap of a company, the market cap of a company is composed of the current value of all the future earnings. For one bad quarter or one bad year, how much market capitalization a company deserves to lose? Should it lose 50%? Should it lose 20%? Should it lose 90%? We have to think. Second thing we have to think, ultimately, if these companies, let's say there are companies with 20-year track record of the past, and they have ability to survive for the next 20 years also. If ultimately companies का EPS grow होने वाला है, तो उसका शेयर का दाम को आप कंप्रेस करते रहेंगे. If you keep compressing the share price and the earnings also starts rising, how much you can compress it? You can compress it 20%, you can compress 40%. Ultimately, it is like a spring, it will recoil. So please don't apply arithmetic where it doesn't apply. And please ensure that wherever the arithmetic has to be accompanied by the physics, you don't forget the physics behind the arithmetic. So these are things which I wanted to share with you. Stay safe. Please stick to your asset allocation. Make sure that you are not, getting unnecessarily carried away with the negativity. The world is not going to end tomorrow or day after tomorrow. We have a long way to go. We have come a long way, and we have a very, very long way to go. So don't be myopic. Don't be short-sighted. Don't do anything which you will regret after 2 years. I'm not telling you 5 years or 10 years. Don't do anything which you will regret next year. Don't do anything which you are bound to regret next 2 years. And definitely don't do anything which you will regret for a lifetime. So make sure you are in the right place. I know you are in the right place. Just hang on. So thank you for listening me out. I think I have overshot my limit, but it has been my pleasure to speak to you. I'll hand over to Kanak.
Can we have your poll? I think that will give all the answers to everyone, although you have shared.
आप on कर दीजिए sir.
And then maybe some question and answer.
Poll चलाना नहीं आता है, आप on कर दीजिए.
Then it's there. So now, friends, we have a poll here from Ashish. There are 2 questions. I think all your answers will speak everything. So please share what you think. So 40% of you have voted. Another 30 seconds. 55% of you have already voted. It's 30 seconds. Another 5 seconds and we will be through. So yes, the answer is obvious, and 75% of you have voted, and this is the result. So this is the, कहते हैं ना, ये आशीष के टॉक का असर है या पहले से ही असर था? This conviction was there.
नहीं, सबको सब पता है.
सबको सब पता है. Sir, so I think this is a applaud to your session, Ashish. तो मुझे लग रहा था आज when you started, हम बोले आज आराम से आप धीरे धीरे बोल रहे हैं. फिर बस जब लास्ट के जब एग्जाम्पल्स आए 1, 2, 3, तब हमने लगा कि ये तो भाई अब हर बॉल लगता है सिक्सर हो रही है. तो
वो ट्रेन में भी मैं गया हूँ और लिफ्ट में भी मैं फंसा हूँ, मेरे को पता है क्या होता है.
Amazing, and thank you so much, Ashish. It is good learning every time as usual. And can we have some questions before we all go for a tea break and then for the evening session? Or you all can also raise your hand. But questions, please, not explanations, very small questions so that we can have small answers. No, we have no sessions now till 7 o'clock. Abhi 7 baje hi hai सीधा. 7 baje evening गाना बजाना है sir. So
wow.
We have virtual DJ today and and all awards.
Very creative.
And some of our IFA friends will be singing today. JP Mathur from Jaipur, Amit Biwalkar from Pune, and Harsh from Pune. Say they all will sing. They all will have music, and from Motwani brothers family from Raipur. So all of them will add their stuff. So we will all be online, and this will also be live on our Facebook page also today, evening program.
Wow.
So I think there are some, so everybody is just writing great session. ठीक है. But any question? Regarding sir, one question, if I have, I think you have already answered that, but just know regarding when we are talking about valuations, okay, yes, whatever was there that time we did not buy. Now it has gone up. Now what next? You are recommending that we should invest for last, I think 3-4 months, you are telling that you invest in 6 months, invest in 6 months.
हाँ, I have been saying continuously that you should spread your investment up to September, October.
Yes.
तो मैं तो definitely मेरा कोई ऐसा अभी भी, if you see some people have said that the time is not now, etc. And somebody has asked also that funds are underperforming, etc., etc. I think that कहाँ हम 5 साल का बात कर रहे हैं, कहाँ हम 10 साल का बात कर रहे हैं, और हम क्यों अगले 2-3 महीने का इतना, why are we worrying so much? So I think that on the specific question of timing and whether to invest now or later, my request has always been that even when I spoke to MFRT session in say May or June, I have always been saying that from here till September, October, or till December, keep investing, keep spreading your money. I think that is the most important point. As far as the market is concerned, look, market is indicating 2 or 3 things. The first thing is that there is a lot of global liquidity. There is a lot of interest in India also, but there is a lot of global liquidity also. Because if you see the moment the virus started spreading, the US has made interest rate zero and flooded the market with liquidity in terms of dollar supply also. So as a result of that, there is a lot of support to stock markets and to different asset classes. But look, people a lot of times say liquidity driven rally and गुमराह कर देते हैं सबको. अरे भाई, तो liquidity है तो liquidity reality है ना, क्या करूं मैं उसका? Which rally is not driven by liquidity? All rallies are driven by liquidity. And if liquidity is there, then yes, it is, liquidity is there. Then you accept that, you recognize that as a factor, and you say that yes, because there is liquidity, the market should not go down. So you recognize that as a factor. And once liquidity is there, are you trying to say that अगले महीने liquidity evaporate हो जाएगा? नहीं, ऐसा नहीं होता है. 2008-9 में भी बहुत liquidity डाला था, उसको निकालते निकालते 2013, 14, 15 हो गया, taper tantrum blah blah जो हम बोलते हैं. So भाई liquidity होता है तो liquidity से बाजार ऊपर जाता है. It's a reality. It's an important factor to keep in mind. And when liquidity has been pumped in, it will take them 3, 4, 5 years for US economy to revive and for them to actually show the economic growth which is coming out of low rates and this liquidity. So I don't think that, by criticizing something as liquidity driven rally, we should unnecessarily distract ourselves. Liquidity is also an important factor. That is first. Second is that maybe the market here in India, for example, please keep in mind, before COVID-19 hit us, we were at 4.4% GDP growth and system level bank credit growth was only 6%. So it is a slow speed car crash. We are not America. We were not at record high 10-year bull run, record high employment, great corporate margins, corporate profit to GDP. We were not in a booming phase. We were not driving 90 miles per hour. We were driving 20 kilometers per hour. हम तो अपना compound में parking lot में गाड़ी चला रहा था, उसमें ठुक गया है. So how can you compare a high speed car crash with a slow speed car crash? So the impact on our economy will be really bad. I am not debating that. But how long will it last? What will be the trajectory of recovery? How seriously will it be impacted? What was our banking system credit growth before this? सब बोल रहे हैं NPA हो जाएगा, NPA हो जाएगा. अरे भाई, अगर इसके पहले 20% क्रेडिट ग्रोथ होता तो NPA होता. इसके पहले तो क्रेडिट ग्रोथ ही नहीं हो रहा था. थोड़े NBFCs लैंड कर रहे थे और 2 बैंक लैंड कर रहे थे. बाकी कोई बैंक तो लैंड ही नहीं कर रहा था. सब तो अपना सिस्टम क्लीन करने में लगे हुए थे. Everybody was doing mergers and acquisitions and consolidation and cleanup and NPA provisioning. So what I feel is that mandi karne mein, we have forgotten the context. Yes, there is mandi, situation is not good, but I think that it's a question of taking advantage of the doldrums, and let's not assume that we will always be in this scenario. I think in the next 3 to 6 months, the trajectory will change.
There are a lot of questions in the chat box. Maybe you can randomly just see them, and I think they're asking about asset allocation fund and crisis.
I think that, I think Mukesh Bhai asked that what is the future sectors and future themes. I think that is important. In country like ours, for example, insurance, I have been saying for now 2 years, for a gigantic country like ours, first insurance company got listed only 2 years back. I find myself that to be quite a remarkable thing. I think insurance has a very, very long journey in India. So insurance is a sector which, according to me, can do very well. Pharmaceutical has somehow come into the radar only in the last 3 to 6 months. That is in the current context. But otherwise also pharmaceuticals has a very long way to go. Liquor, for example, liquor consumption, all these things, because as per capita grows, as consumer trends change, Then, for example, all consumer discretionary, like, maybe, of course, not in the next year or 2 years might be difficult. But eventually, if you ask me, like, for example, I think that, once we are out of this tunnel, interest rates will be very low, liquidity will be very high. Last 8 to 10 years, real estate has been disastrous. But my personal opinion is that slowly, residential real estate in the next 1 or 2 years will start recovering. So these are some things that one has to keep in mind. For a very, very long time, there has been low inflation. Stuff like metals and commodities has not done well. I think that can also surprise on the upside in the next couple of years. So these are few things which I would really think about. Somebody has commented that mutual funds are not performing, etc. I think that's a slightly subjective or amateurish observation. There will be time to time. In the last 90 days, 30-40% of the rally is driven by a significant re-rating only in one stock, which is Reliance Industries. I think we all are financial advisors out here, and instead of making subjective comments or subjective assessments, I'm not talking to retail investors, I'm talking to financial advisors. So it is important that when you make when you're talking about mutual funds, it's a nuanced subject. Just making a subjective statement that all mutual funds are underperforming the index, I think it does disservice to the understanding and the profession. In the last 90 days, 30 to 40% of the rally is driven by Reliance. Any mutual fund has a 10% limit on a stock. However much you may love a particular company, you can't have more than 10% in a stock. If that stock is 14% of Nifty and 18% of Sensex, I don't think you expect people to just keep chasing anything that is going up. So I think that is contextual, that is temporary in nature, and I don't think it will remain that way maybe 6 months, 9 months, or 12 months later. But since we all are investment advisors and financial advisors out here, we should definitely look into the nuances rather than just drawing surface level conclusions. So these are few things which I would like to share, and maybe I'll scroll up.
Good.
Yeah, so thank you very much. These are a few things I wanted to share. If there are any questions which are imperative, then maybe they can be sent to Kanak, and I will try to answer them.
Thank you so much, Ashish, and it is a pleasure having you with us.
Thank you.
This is the digital.
Thank you.
Thank you. And we will plant a tree, a small sapling, instead of giving you a memento. And that is something which we are doing with all the speakers. So that's one thing. And thank you so much. It's every time good learning from you as ever. And the next, I think 20 minutes, we will have a breakout session. We will all go for tea. The session is over here, but we will discuss what we have learned from Ashish. And we are divided into 12 groups. So we all can talk and we all can introduce ourselves. That is what we are doing in the same group since morning. We all together are meeting in a different room. And the same group is meeting again and again. And what we are doing is we are discussing what we have learned from the speaker. So after every speaker, there is a half-an-hour break. And this break is utilized in learning and understanding whatever we are doing. So that's how we will be doing. So thank you very much, Ashish. And we all go to the breakout room now. Thank you. So I opened the breakout room now.